The final approach that I would like to look at is the approach of coaching, and this is the approach that I have chosen for my collaboration style. Brendan Cook defined coaching as a process in which an education professional with advanced knowledge and skills uses strategies for job-embedded professional development to increase the capacity of teachers so that they can improve student outcomes. As noted in the diagram before, this relationship is an indirect service. The coach provides the information or the instruction to the teacher, and then the teacher then has to take what they learn and implement it in the classroom. In an English language arts classroom, there are a couple of methods that are already tried and true practices for coaching, specifically literacy coaching. In the No Child Left Behind Act, the development of the program called Reading First has become implemented in many schools across the United States. In Reading First, a coach teaches a teacher how to implement reading strategies in a classroom. In this approach, teachers with advanced professional preparation in the area of reading outcomes or to incorporate reading strategies into other core content subjects. A professional coach would come in and teach an English language arts teacher how to be a better teacher of reading. They would provide us skills, strategies, and methods. Watch how we implement them and give us constructive criticism. Coaching can also be used in other areas in the English language arts. Reading is probably the most common way that it is used. However, we can also use it for literature. At professional development conferences or classes, teachers can make the choice to learn how to be better teachers of grammar, reading, writing, or even practices on literature. We are provided with resources at such conferences, whether that is online, book format, or with other people, and it provides us with the resources that we need to be more effective teachers. We can also learn how to provide better assessments. Assessments are always an area of contention among teachers. Should we provide objective or subjective testing? Should they be many and short, or should there be one culminating at the end, or somewhere in between? In a coaching relationship, especially if it is longitudinal, we can take the time to reflect and see which approach is best suited to my personal education style, as well as to the needs of my students. And finally, we can learn classroom management. Any teacher can benefit from studying classroom management and growing in this area, not only the English language arts teacher. From a biblical worldview, I would like to point out that coaching emphasizes mentoring relationships. In a classroom, we often use mentoring at the beginning of our career, where a mentor is assigned to a teacher so that they are encouraged and given the criticism and constructively that they need in order to grow as a teacher in the rest of their career. Similarly, as a body of believers, we encourage each other and we learn from those who have gone before us. 2 Timothy says, "You then, my child, be strengthened by the grace that it is in Christ Jesus, and what you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also." We are supposed to impart our knowledge, and imparting our knowledge to our children, to those around us, and even to our colleagues. We are supposed to train up our children as in the way that they should go, and they will not depart from it, as Proverbs says. As teachers, we have taken over the responsibility of educating the children, which is a responsibility that used to belong to the parents. Now that we have taken this responsibility, we must recognize that we are passing on our knowledge to the next generation. This is something that does not only happen in a school setting, It is something that should happen throughout our entire lives. We should always take the time to have a mentor and have someone who is teaching us the ropes and giving us wisdom from someone who has gone before us so that we can follow in their footsteps and learn from their mistakes. And this is why I believe I am so fond of coaching. The strengths of the approach are as follows. The professional development aspect, in which we can grow as educators and grow in our career, is one that is greatly appreciated. Going to professional development conferences is always encouraged at a school, whether you are an elementary teacher, high school teacher, or a college professor. And it is also an expectation that we should grow and hone our craft. Secondly, the partnership that develops when developing a coaching relationship is of none other, especially if it takes a significant amount of time. One of our greatest resources in the classroom is the relationships that we have with others. We can receive resources such as internet databases, webinars, other PowerPoint presentations that other teachers have made, or even if those are books that they are fond of. We can receive those from the relationships that we build as educators. We should never forget those who have taken the time to teach us. Finally, the encouragement that we receive in this kind of relationship is exceptional. Coaches may share expertise in order to improve teacher practices, but teachers make the choice to incorporate their expertise into the classroom practices. This is one of the greatest strengths of this approach. I appreciate how it allows the teacher to individualize and personalize what they learn into their classroom based on their needs. There are a few concerns regarding this approach. There are cultural differences that we must take note of, whether that is languages between the coach and the mentor, the perception of our roles and expectations of the teachers and students. Sometimes it is confidentiality. Some of these discussions can lead to our concerns regarding our students, teachers, or even the administration, and the coach must be aware that confidentiality is something that must be adhered to. We must provide education regarding our cultural differences, recognize how they apply those in their classroom, and respect their beliefs and their traditions. The weaknesses of the approach are as follows. As I mentioned before, we wonder if it is effective because it is something that is hard to measure. We also wonder what kind of method or model is best suited to coaching. However, this is a hard question to answer because everything is so individualized, especially since it is a relationship. Finally, do teachers have enough time? We take so much time to work on our work outside of class. Should we take that much more time for a coaching relationship? Based on the benefits of this relationship, I believe that it is always something we should consider. If we build strong relationships, we can learn to teach our students how to do the same. We will also have to learn how to blend our personal and societal cultures, especially our school culture. Coming from different schools, we have different expectations, and that is something I think is more of a strength of the approach rather than a weakness, in fact. And finally, we have to make sure that our coaches have enough knowledge of the classroom. I believe this is easily solved by providing them with the opportunity to observe. I would like to highlight a part of my educational philosophy. In the final sentence, I say that learning from my fellow teachers and administrators as I build professional relationships. Professional relationships is something I believe is our greatest resource in our classroom and is something we should definitely take advantage of. In conclusion, John Maxwell says, one of the mistakes people make is that they focus too much attention on their dream and too little on their team.